Hi, this is day 12 of tarot combos, where we draw two cards and feel into how the energies are interacting with each other. So here we go. What's here with us today? Ooh, the Empress. Look at that picture. That artwork is trippy. She's got like a mushroom head. I love it. And then challenged by the Five of Cups. Challenged by the Five of Cups. The Empress is like, hold on one moment. Immediately I think about the big themes with these two cards, like the Empress being one of like endless creation and birthing things into the world in a very easeful sort of way. Like it's not hard for her to like create, to birth, to bring things about through ease, through the divine feminine way, not the brute force divine masculine way. And this card it's challenged by loss. The Five of Cups being one of a temporary setback or grief, loss, lack. So I just get all the chills with just how, like, what do you say, diametrically opposed? I don't even know what diametric means. These two energies are. So how would a lack mindset be prohibiting? That's not the word I want. Getting in the way. There's a better word. Getting in the way of your ability to create, manifest, if you want to use that word, because a lot of people with the Empress use the word manifest. I love the mushroom imagery, because mushrooms just like, they have that like the vibe about them, like they're just constantly, and you see those videos, the time lapse where they're just, it seems like they're just constantly evolving, like producing the spores. You can fly anywhere, land in soil, and produce. And here this is, so it's like there's an easefulness to the way, like the Empress energy. So in your life, think about where you're hoping, because there's also hopefulness to this. Think about, like, sometimes people call her the mother of tarot. There's like a hopefulness to mother, like to being in that phase where you're the 9 months of pregnancy, right? There's just so much hope baked in to the baking process. It's all hope. It's all hope. Maybe some fear, but it's really about hope that things will come about in the best, most natural way, and all conditions are like ideal to bring something about. So where do you have that hopefulness in your life, that you have this desire to birth something into the world, to bring something about, and you're just like would love for the ideal conditions to exist so that this thing could be the fullest expression of what you hope it to be. Okay, so where is that in your life? And then where might this guy slip in? This Five of Cups kind of energy of a lack mindset, meaning you're just focused a little bit on the fact that it might not come about. Like there's maybe a fear there that's kind of, how like the abundance, like manifestation mindset is all about putting yourself in the feeling and the energy of like, it's already happened. And that's what brings it toward you, is that you have built up this feeling inside to say, it's already happened. So, visualize, say affirmations, like fill yourself up with the feeling of having already achieved the thing or created the thing. And then like the universe has no other option but to make it so for you. And then, but some seed of doubt or lack or loss or grief or what if or fear gets planted. One of those little mushroom spores goes wrong, and a different kind of spore gets in and starts to ferment. Is that some terrible analogies, but like starts to like grow these seeds of doubt or like, oh man, or fear. Where do you feel that? Because the fives are temporary. They're here as a pointer, as a teacher, to say we all have those moments of doubt. We do. Like that's part of the hope process. Hope, I'm getting all the chills because like its sister is doubt. Like, and its doubt is not, I don't think, like I want to say doubt is there as a teacher, not as something to avoid. I think it's a teacher because it highlights where like there's something to overcome, there's something to look at to gain clarity in the doubt. There's like, I wish I had a good example, but I just feel this so strongly right now because she's so hopeful. I feel like her best friend could be doubt because it's balance, because it keeps us from being the Pollyanna, like I'm gonna avoid all the negative feelings because but and people who are really real teachers of manifestation will tell you don't bypass. So if anything, this is a pointer to say like, don't just avoid the grief, the loss, the doubt, whatever that is for you. They're a teacher. We need to feel both to feel balanced and to really amplify this once we've come through the doubt, this temporary setback kind of vibe. So, and the story here with the Five of Cups is like, see how there are a few cups spilled, and that's what we're temporarily focused on, like, oh, bummer. And then over here, there's usually 2 cups that are still standing that we can say, if only we just lift our eyes back to hopefulness, or, we process those feelings of loss and we can finally lift our head again, we can see, oh, wait, those full cups have always been here. The love, the ease, the creation, all of the good things we want are always here. Whenever we can like move through those emotions. That's why it's that's why I think the fives are called temporary conditions, because they're teachers, they're pointers. They are highlighting to us where we have opportunities to grow in self-awareness. And then there's no end to what we can bring about. And I feel like it's not all or nothing. It's not like you go through this phase once and you're done and then you're like, oh, my dreams come true. Everything, like the Wheel of Fortune, even though we're not talking about the Wheel of Fortune day, but it's that like everything comes back around. So the fives are going to keep coming back around, but we learn each time. That's why they're teachers, to say, how can we embody the Empress energy to its fullest each time we move through whatever we're supposed to learn here. That's why I feel like they're kind of sisters, hope, doubt, creation, loss. There's the both and, otherwise each one becomes a little more meaningless. Not as meaningful, right? Opposites reveal each other. They support each other. They boost each other. So I think that's all I want to say about this. So where does that show up in your life? I like to give examples sometimes. I have a couple examples, I think. Hold on. Okay, I just had a little moment with myself because this is quite literally the depiction, the exact depiction. I just got a ringing in my ear. Sometimes that happens. When I just did the daily spark question for today and talked about what's going on with my mom. So it's like her health issues. So literally, and how upsetting it is. And the catharsis I went through by naming the emotion I was experiencing and moving through it. So it's a little too real, a little too recent, and I've already talked about it in that video. But yeah, when I pushed pause and I'm like, oh damn, the mother card and this emotional setback, this loss, this grief, these emotions that just take you down for a moment. It's quite the literal the literal representation of what I've already talked about in that other video, so I won't go into it. So I'm definitely dealing with this real time today. So that's my example. Definitely mother health issues. Like, it's too literal. That's why I'm just like, come on. But with these tarot combos where we're only drawing 2 cards, it's not, it's like, I wanted to cover like the high level, like the themes of the cards. Whereas my example is like very literal, very specific. But where does that show up for you? Is it more general or is it more specific for you? Yeah, let me know.